Good. Well, it's morning for me. Don't know what it'll be when you see this, but welcome back to the workshop. We are in the shop. We've got us a John Deere 214. This is an old machine. It's brought to me. She says it's a real hoss. It really does some work. It's seen probably some better days. It's there. It's got some rust. It looks like it's been sitting out in the weather. The seat is shot. Looks like rust is kind of taken over there. Tires are, yeah, not good at all. But she says it still runs. She's going to work on getting some tires and stuff. But what my main objective today is going to be, she says the main pulley or belt under here is falling off, and so she's pointing to these down here when it's under a load. So I'm taking a quick look at it, and these belts look pretty terrible. So I think what we're going to do is try to figure out how to get in there to get to them. I think yeah, I put this one back on. I did look at this just a little bit yesterday when they brought it in, and I noticed that this first belt was actually hanging down here like this, and I believe that's supposed to be riding up on the top of it. So that might have been half of a problem right there. I don't really know. We're going to check all the pulleys and belts and stuff out, and we'll see what we have to do from there. Okay, I removed a couple of screws off this side cover and got it removed out of there, and we're getting a little bit better idea. We've got the deck down to see what's going on here, and it looks like that belt just goes back. That's the mower belt. It's coming up and hitting this little idler pulley. That pulley feels to be in pretty good shape, spins freely. Looks like this one's been replaced pretty recently on this one, so I think that's good. We followed up here, and the belt is definitely not in the right place, so that looks like it needs to go over into this other groove a little bit better than that. I'm not really sure. This looks like some sort of a clutch mechanism. I'm going to have to try to figure that out. I've not ever played with one of these, so I'm going to have to see what all these parts and pieces do, and as I do that, maybe I can clue you into it as I discover. But they definitely need the new belt on there, so I'm going to look it up, make sure I get what it would call for the mower belt, and see if we can get the right one, because that belt is definitely shot. So we'll do that, and then see if we can get her worked back down and get it worked onto the mowing deck. See if I have to remove the deck in order to get to that. That doesn't look like it'd be a real bad job. It's got a couple little brackets I'd have to remove, but that might be my easiest way to get it out from underneath here. So we'll take us a quick look at it. I think that's a little different than the other one I had too. I thought we on these they would hook up into this front latch right here, but I guess that's for something else. Okay, we'll look at it. Let's see what else we can do with it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this thing off. What we had to do is just flip this little lever down, and then you take a hold of this whole thing, and it slides up into here. Looks like somebody beat it before, and it kind of lines up with that, it looks like, and then it pulls off, and that allows you access to get to the belt. So we can take the belt off of it. Let's see if we can wheel that off of there. Yeah, there we go. And we kind of remember how it goes in here. So that'll be wraps down around through that, back up around there. And then the other thing we need to do, there's a little pin right here. I don't know how well we're going to be able to pick this all up. I'm trying to show it. I should be able to pull this little piece out of there, I think. Wheel it out of the way. And then the other side of this belt should come right on out. And let's see if we have anything else we're going to need to do. Yeah, that pops on out. And we've got us one fairly substantially tore up belt. So we're going to check and see. I've done a little bit of research on the belt, and it's kind of questionable, but I think we're going to find out. We're going to get us one. A 90-inch, half by 90-inch belt for this one here. The other belt that I think is required, and this is the main drive belt, which that one looks fine. So I'm not going to do anything with that one, I don't think. And I believe that one is a, let's see, what did I end up with here? That one ended up being a 1/2 inch 67-inch or 67.5-inch belt, I believe. But even there, I'm not 100% positive. This is an old enough tractor. It's just a little bit challenging to figure out what it does need. So we'll go ahead and put the one on for the mowing deck. I'm going to grab that one up, and then we'll see how that works out. We'll go from there. Okay, no idea where I left off. It's been day 2. Let's see, the recycler Toro. We got a little push mower in here. They said the cables just didn't hook up correctly up across there. So in order to do something with that, we took a look at them. In both of them, let's see if we can show you what's wrong with them. This one here, the reason it wouldn't hook up is because it's broken. I can just pull that whole thing right out of there. It's not doing anything on the other end. And same with this one here. They're both broken. So if you have this mower, the two that you will need, let me see if I can give you a good picture of that. I hope you can do that. That'll be one of the cables, and this will be the one. Let's see, this one here goes down and does the self-propel part. So, and the other one is actually your throttle linkage, goes to your carburetor. So we'll go ahead and I think those are going to be a good match. We'll just throw those back on. They're pretty simple, and see how that works, and then we'll go on to the next part, see what else we can get into here. Okay, we've got the cables back on here. They'll of course need to be tied up once I get everything back running like they're supposed to. Not really sure why that's on there that direction. That kind of is wrong for that, I would think, but we'll make those work. But once I put some gas in here, it started leaking all over the place, so we had to pull the cover off of there, and it's got, oh, we're going to kind of get a good look at how all these linkages and everything hook up, so that I've got to pull this thing off and get in there and see why the float's sticking. So it's just pouring gas out. I've got the fuel line off of there. I'm not really sure what the best way is going to be. I don't think I can get that off of there. So we're going to have to play with this a little bit, see what I can figure out. But at least this way I'll have a record of just where everything went. So that was my big key, is always take pictures so you know where to put it back at. All right, we're back on the John Deere 214 today. So we had to take the front clip of this off. We had to get down into this air filter and all, get this thing to running, which we found out afterwards. That's spring loaded. I think we can just take that front thing there off, but we did have to get to the choke lever and stuff to get it freed up. Put a little bit oil on that one. And up here in the front, that's a choke. We couldn't get that to move at all, so it's freed up. So we've got that going, and we actually did get her to start up. It's running good. And then this belt, we ended up with a 1/2-inch belt, and I don't know, there's about 6 different places we looked up information on this, and nobody really knew what it was supposed to be. But we ended up with an 83-inch belt on there, which was one of them I think that was suggested on one site that I found. And it's back in here. I don't know, you can't really see it again now, but it's going through that. We'll show you the actual schematic as to how it's supposed to set in there. So we got the, this is your main clutch here. It'd be that, and it comes down through your idler pulley, and then another idler pulley there. It kind of flips around a little bit and comes back to your back one. So it's not really too awful difficult. We found it probably easier to put on all this front and then spin it onto the back one. So that's probably what I would recommend. So that's got the belt on it. We'll go ahead and set all the front back together here. And I think that's about all we really needed to do for her on this one. And we'll call that project completed up. Let's see, what else do we have since the last one? I don't know if I ever even finished off on the others. We've got our 2 tillers here. We've got both of these running. This one had the new gas tank was put onto it, a new carburetor, new air filter, little oil change on this one, and she's up and running. The only thing I have left on this one is the cable is froze up on this. I could not get that loosened up, so we've got a new cable coming for that drive gear. And then this one will be ready to send on back. This tiller over here was about the same thing with oil change. This one had to have the recoil assembly replaced. That's all back on it. New carburetor, new air filter. So we've got that one completed up. It's ready to run. It's ready to go back as it sits. It's done. The lawnmower we finished off. We got the 2 cables connected to that. Got those replaced. Everything's put back together. The carburetor was leaking a little bit. We did get the float to stop that after cleaning the carburetor. So that one's done. So we've been busy out here today. I didn't capture a lot of that on the recording, but we worked them all, got them knocked out. It takes a little bit extra time when you're trying to film it and do that. So that's really about the basics of it. So I think that'll wrap this one up. We'll send all these out of the shop and we'll have us a little space to work in here again. So we'll call that good. I got a little helper over there helping put the front back together. So that's my son. He every now and then gets out here. You've probably seen him in 1 or 2 of my other videos. But anyways, thanks for watching, checking it out. If you found anything useful, appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. And thank you for subscribing. We'll check you on the next projects.